beauties, I'm back for another to buy or not to buy. In these videos I talk about new makeup that has either released or sneak peeked, and I try to convince myself not to buy anything and try to convince you also not to buy anything. We don't need so much makeup. We probably have a dupe of these, or we can dupe them. If that sounds good, let's get into the video. Beauties, if you're enjoying these videos, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I have my coffee here, and today I am going to do my look with the dupe that I have for Secret Garden palette from Bella Beaute Bar. I couldn't fit all of the pans into one palette, so I ended up using two palettes. In this video, I'm not going to tell you what shades I used. I will do another video telling you all what shades I'm using. If you're interested in that, write it in the comments below. You all had said you wanted to see me dupe this palette, which is why I duped it. I'm videoing a few days ahead because I'm going to be traveling, so by the time you watch this video, there is a possibility a few new things have released that I didn't get a chance to include in this video. Oh well, there's always going to be new things released. Let's first talk about this one that released from Simply Posh. We knew this is coming, but now we know the color story. I somehow feel like this looks like the other palette, the cabin palette. I'll find the photo and put it on the screen for you all that they released for Christmas. I mean, that one also had more or less the same kind of cool tones and neutrals. It seems like they're accepting pre-orders for the three palettes that are in the image. Each palette's going to be $45. I don't really use my Simply Posh palettes, and I already have some issues with some of their shimmers. You can watch the other video that I posted, speed reviewing 22 indie brands. I mentioned some of the things that I thought about this brand. Frankly, if you're new to this whole beauty scene and you're still trying to explore what brand you might like and just getting a short snapshot of past history of some of these brands and what the general opinion is about these brands, I think that video is a great video for you. I'll put it on the screen. Oh, Avatar: The Last Airbender has now released from Lethal. Ooh, and these are cute. Lethal is definitely a brand I am kind of eyeing because it's a brand I've never tried and I would like to try them. I have to pay the shipping fee, right? They're German, so it's coming from Europe. So that might be the only detractor, because I generally want to do a large enough purchase if I'm buying something from the other side of the world. I also really like some of these shimmers. What are those? It says Suka glitter gel. Maybe that's what it is. And if it's just pure glitter, then no. And that bag is also super cute. And honestly, the palettes are not that bad. $29 for 9 shades. That's a pretty reasonable price. Of course, it's unclear from the images whether these shimmers are sort of duochrome, multichrome. I'm guessing there are no multichromes. I know Lethal's multichromes are pretty steeply priced. So I don't really know. I'm intrigued and I will see. Continuing, Golden Hour by Be Perfect. Absolutely not. What is this? It doesn't look like anything I would use. A bunch of bags. I have plenty of bags. And a bunch of things that are for the face. You all remember I told you that Clarity is constantly sneak peeking things? It seems like now they have the palettes available. So they have brought back Summer Amazing and a few other palettes, and you can get a discount with a code, of course. I'm not interested in picking anything up. At this point, for me to pick something up, you'd have to be amazingly different. The color story needs to be different. The theme needs to be very unique, or you need to have some special shades that I really, really want to try. I have already talked about these and I'm not picking up. So moving on, just wanted to say that if you were waiting on this, you can go to Clarity's website. These are now live from Cliona. I still haven't received what I ordered from Cliona, which was a whole lot of nail lacquers at their sale last month. So waiting on that and not ordering anything yet. This palette from NYX, I feel like they had this palette before. It's either that NYX has a series of palettes that look very, very similar, because I feel like the last time I talked about this palette, I said that they had this palette before. So I don't know what's going on, but they're saying that this is a limited edition for their 25th birthday. And it's $38, which is a great price, but it's like gigantic. It's a dupe of itself and extremely redundant, and it has plastic packaging. So no, I also don't need these colors. I don't need these colors. Moving on. Let me get started on the look. I'm using Glam Shop's eyeshadow base. And I think last time I used it, I used too much. So I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative with how much of this I use. Because if you use too much base, that itself could lead to creasing or patchiness. Let's quickly talk about another one while that is drying. This has released from Alter Ego. So Alter Ego is a brand that dupes more expensive brands for a very reasonable price. Now, I don't have a price for this palette. It's called Mystique, and I believe, just based on the layout and what it looks like, that this is a dupe for Natasha Denona's Circo Loco palette. I really wanted to buy Circo Loco, and I've never tried Alter Ego, so I don't think I'm going to pick this up, because I duped Circo Loco when it came out because it was $100-something, and I just could not bring myself to spend that much money on a palette. And I don't know if now I would go and buy a palette as a dupe after having duped it. But I would like to try Alter Ego just to have an opinion of it. Although I don't know how I feel about people fully copying another brand's color story. But on the positive side, I mean, not everybody can afford $100-something, and not everybody has access to Natasha Denona. So this is a very reasonably priced alternative. Pat McGrath is coming up with something I am not interested in. It looks like maybe something for the lips or eyes. Let me get started on the look. I'm just using random brushes that are available here. I'm going to go into this green. And I know this is the green that I purchased from Miss A store. Honestly, for $1, the pigmentation is good. The blendability is good. Okay, this one I'm excited about. We've talked about it. This is the new release from Dia Varun, and it's a 6-pan iridescent multichrome palette. It's also coming with some loose flakies or loose shades. I'm not a loose anything kind of a person. I don't really know how to use flakies and loose shades. I'm just a clumsy human, and they will get all over everything. If you want the whole bundle, it's $115. If you want just a palette for the 6 shades, it's $59. Now, that's kind of pricey for 6 shades. If these are every single shade is a true iridescent multichrome, frankly, if you want to buy that kind of a shade from Terra Moons or Cleona, you might even pay $16 a shade. So here you're going to get it almost $10 a shade, less than $10 a shade. So it might be reasonable price-wise, but it's a little expensive thinking about it from the perspective of the fact that it's just a 6-pan palette. As you know, I extended my no-buy, and I have a budget on a quarterly, and we're kind of hitting the end of May. So we just have 1 month left of the quarter, and I haven't used up that budget. So this palette could go on a list of things that I might consider picking up. And this palette's already available. And it says it's going to ship within 2 to 10 business days, beauties. I'm not going to do any pre-orders. So thankfully, Dia Varun isn't doing that. I love this. And that itself gives me an incentive to want to buy from the brand. I don't like pre-orders. If you want to know why, watch one of my other videos. I'll find a video where I talk about pre-orders and put it on the screen. It's unfair to require people to wait around for months to get a palette, and by the time you get the palette, the color story is not relevant anymore. Continuing, these have been sneak peeked from a Glam Shop. It says these are single shadows. I thought these are highlighters. And these can be applied wet or dry, and you can get a discount. Right now, it seems like they're having a 10% discount if you buy it. I like Glam Shop as a brand. I really like the quality of their eyeshadows, but I'm not going to put another order in. I already picked a lot of stuff earlier in the year. Let's go back into the palette. This is a random BH Cosmetics, and I want to use this brown for deepening out this outer edge. And I'm going to take the brown and just go under my lower lash line with it. With the first brush, I'm just gonna blend the brown and the green. It seems like Notoriously Morbid is releasing all of these lip stuff, and I'm here for this. I do feel like this is a little bit more appropriate for a bit later in the year, but I'm fine with brands sneak peeking things a few months ahead, because nowadays with all the pre-orders, by the time you receive this, it might be September, which is the time when I would start wearing this kind of looks. I'm not in the market for lips, but I feel like one day I'm gonna shop from Notoriously Morbid at some point. This is already available, and you can pick it up from their site. Don't forget to use someone's code if you're interested. Ladybug Glow has sneak peeked this. It's called Misteriosa. It's already available. It's a quad for their birthday. It has 1 rainbow multichrome, 2 holochromes, 1 sparkle duochrome for $29.70. $30. Honestly, the price is not bad for quad of 3 very special shade and a duochrome compared to what we see nowadays. But I'm not on the market for that, and you all shouldn't buy what you don't need. These are releasing from Profusion. It looks like a pack that includes an eyeshadow palette and a face palette. I'm going to Michigan, and I have seen Profusion at the Walmarts in Michigan, so I'm just gonna go do a little bit of exploring and see if I can find these, and I'll report back. This is actually a full on the go kit. It has all of these things inside each for $16. I hear people tell me Profusion has amazing quality, and honestly, for all of these, $16, $17, that's a really, really good price. I'm using Divina's Specular for glitter glue. I'm gonna use this shade. Let me take it out. It's Fire Orchid from Glaminatrix. It has a blue-green all the way to gold hue on top with a very beautiful magenta and pink base. That's the shade. And that's where it's going. And I'm just putting it over Specular. Once you apply it, the pink kind of dissipates. You don't really see it. You can only see it at certain angles, but then you mostly see the gold, and then that gold really beautifully blends into the brown and into the green. I'm now using that brush that I used the brown on, and I'm just blending this edge. It's just a very simple look for going to the airport. When I'm done with the look, I'll put a reel of it on Instagram for y'all as well. So you can always check out my Instagram for these looks that I do on camera. Also, beauties, y'all remember the Shine by ST collection sparkle lights that I talked about last week? It's available and live now if you're interested. Again, Shine by ST is above my budget if I want to buy things and I love their stuff. I add them to a list and I buy them on sale, and I recommend you do the same. But if you want to buy anything, don't forget to use someone's code, get some money off. Fluorosis has released liquid shadows for $25 each. $25, friends. But I mean, Fluorosis is an expensive brand, so I wasn't expecting anything less. Clearly too expensive for me. I can't afford $25 for a single liquid eyeshadow. Beauty Moon has released this one. I see a lot of neons, which is nice. Cosmology. It says 8 mattes and 8 chrome shadows. You can get some money off, and very interestingly, I don't have a price for this. You know, when they say chrome shadows, those look like duochromes. They don't look like something that I would call very special and multi-chrome-y, so I think I can dupe all of these. I'm a little intrigued though, because the swatch of the neons look nice, if they really look like that. And let's talk about this one, and this might be our last. This is from Shizhuang. I think I talked about it a few weeks ago. They were talking about their singles, and now they have this chameleon eyeshadow palette. However, this is $139.99, $140. I like to try this brand, but I can't afford those prices. It looks nice. Maybe one day I win the lottery and can afford this, but that day is not today. And now that we're talking about C Beauty, there is Elena pigment palette that is going to be available June 18th from Shall We Makeup for $50. It has 1 multichrome, 4 mixed shimmers, and 5 mattes. I'm not picking up, yeah, this is too neutral. Neutral with a pop of purple. This reminds me of a lot of Colourpop palettes. Just change the background because Colourpop palettes usually don't have a black background. And it's going to be a Colourpop palette. And I think I can dupe it. And also let me talk about this one, which is Jones Road, which is Bobbi Brown's second brand. I think she sold off her first brand to one of these conglomerates, and now she's running Jones Road. And they have this thing called Miracle Balm, and I've seen so many ads of this that I've become intrigued to pick one up. I need to see how much it is because I don't have a price here. I do like a tint on my face. I love, for example, Super Shock Cheek, both blush and highlighter from Colourpop. I'm looking here because there's one right here. So I think this kind of a product would be something I would like to use. She came up with this large one and I wasn't gonna go buy a huge one, but now they have the mini kits. They released some mini kits for the holidays and I think they might have done well. So they're having them back, which is great. The starter balm kit has only 4 of these minis. The essential balm kit has 8 of the minis, and the complete balm kits has 12 minis, which includes their fan favorite, which is called Pinky Bronze, and it comes with a mini mascara. Because this kind of product concept is something that I like, there is a possibility I pick something up, but in that case, it's definitely going to be the first, starter balm kit. I'm not going to go buy 20 products that I'm never going to use. And as I'm saying this, the reason I took a pause is because I all of a sudden remembered all the Super Shock cheeks that I have that are waiting to be used. So, you know what? Maybe there's a pass. I'm just getting inundated with the ads, That's why. Because I keep seeing the ads and I'm like, I need this product. That's how the ads get you. That's how the ads get you. That's why a lot of people just say no to the ads. Okay, because I can't afford these, let's talk, and I know I'm not going to buy them. Let's talk about them. YSL Couture Mini Clutch Eyeshadow Palette in 4 new shades. And why in the universe are these Couture super high-end, insanely expensive? How much is this? I can guarantee you this is going to be more than $50 each. And why are they coming with that ridiculous looking applicator that is for kids makeup? Who uses that? Like, I can't imagine you have $50 to drop on a quad that has the most mundane shades in the universe and you can't afford to buy 2 brushes from Sephora. And then there's this Sequoia Fall 2024 collection that has all kinds of things. Again, I don't have a price, obviously, because I'm guessing this is going to be expensive. And I don't have a need for any of these. I don't have a need for any of these. If I look at it, I'm going to get lured because now I'm like, are those 2 things at the top left corner? Are those nail polishes? And why am I looking? Because I just picked up probably the most unique nail polishes out there from Cleona and from Mooncat. And beauties, write a message to me saying nail polish or send me the nail polish emoji if you want me to do nail polish swatches because I love watching those. They're so soothing. Okay, this look is so nice and so all-encompassing. I almost don't want to touch it. Like, you could put something in the inner corner. You could put a little bit of the yellow or a little bit of this one from the swatches of the Secret Garden palette. This color looked like a holochrome, and that's what I picked. This holochrome is from Touch of Glam. You're gonna see what I've picked in the video of the swatches of this. So you could put some of these other shades in your inner corner. You could even put that in the inner corner, but I love it as it is. I feel like anything I do is gonna just overdo it and it's not gonna look good. Okay, beauties, my look is complete. I'm gonna put in the description below everything that I used on my face. Let's talk about this one, and this is probably gonna be our last one. Ofra's collabed with Cooking Con Omi. The whole set is $50. The palette's $32, called Let Your Heart Guide You. Long lasting liquid lip, which is one of my favorite products from Ofra, is $20. The color is Cooking Con Omi, and the lip gloss is $15, called Connie. I'm not a lip gloss person, and the eyeshadow palette is super neutral, so not my thing. I actually have an eyeshadow palette like this, the purple one from Ofra, that I haven't really used. I decluttered it, and I actually put it up on Mercari recently. And beauties, a lot of you had asked me to share the link to my Mercari, so I'm going to put the link in the description below. Just remember that I have not had a chance to post everything. Also, at the moment, because I'm on a trip, my Mercari is deactivated, so I will reactivate when I go back to Austin. Actually, let this be our last one. Kaleidoscope Multichromes from Electrum Cosmetics. I think Electrum Cosmetics is going to be a brand that I'll try at some point, but the issue with these kinds of shades is you swirl them, it's no longer going to look like that, so no. And I hear Electrum Cosmetics is a little pricey, but I've heard they have great quality, so I'm curious to try them at some point. Apparently, they're also releasing a 12-pan magnetic palette called the Midnight Moth. Okay, so I looked for a little bit and I could not find a photo of this palette. If I find it by the time I put this video up, I'm going to post it on the screen. Because I haven't seen the palette, I can't really comment on it, but I'm probably not going to pick this palette up. And you shouldn't either. Save that money and try to dupe these palettes. Trust me, you probably have a dupe of a lot of this makeup in your collection. And with that, beauties, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy these kinds of videos, I have a playlist that is going to be recommended to you at the end of this video that has all of my to buy or not to buys, if you feel like binge watching. Before you go, don't forget to let me know in the comments below what makeup you said no to this week. Have an amazing day, and until next time, bye!